talking to a computer.
The AI assistant doesn't diagnose, but does recognize risky situations like chest pains, and in those cases, transfers the call to a human clinician. With Fox on Tech, Claudia Cowan, Fox News.
Securing America.
Hundreds of members of the National Guard deployed to California to help with immigration-related protests and riots. But what exactly is the National Guard? Their description: the primary combat reserve of the Army and Air Force, seamlessly providing enduring rotational surge and follow-on forces to the joint force to fight and win the nation's wars and defend the homeland. They can deploy at a moment's notice to protect life and property in communities. They recognize December 13th, 1636 as their birthday. It was the first militia regiment in North America organized in Massachusetts. Looking to join? You need to meet several requirements. Be between the ages of 17 and 35 years old, be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident, be at least a junior in high school or have a high school diploma or GED, and earn the minimum passing grade on the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery Test. Also meet the medical, physical, and moral requirements. Tom Graham, Fox News.
History is unfolding, and you're listening to it on News Talk 710 KURV, Edinburgh, McAllen, Harlingen, Brownsville.
They vow to keep protesting. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
He comes out and sends 700 Marines and National Guard. We're going to come out and fight against this injustice.
That was during the fourth night of demonstrations in Los Angeles against illegal immigration raids.
Thousands of protesters were once again on the streets of downtown LA, but the LAPD operation, along with the Sheriff's Department and the California Highway Patrol, seemed a lot more efficient yesterday. They broke the protesters into various groups. They continually pushed them back using tear gas rounds, using flashbangs, using, in some cases, rubber bullets.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt in LA, where Mayor Karen Bass says President Trump's made things worse.
This was chaos that was started in Washington, D.C. On Thursday, the city was peaceful. On Friday, it was not, because of the intervention of the federal government.
California's Governor Gavin Newsom, also a Democrat, is challenging the Marine and National Guard deployment, says immoral and illegal, trying to incite a civil war. The president says,
no, that's just the opposite. I don't want a civil war. A civil war would happen if you left it to people like him.
the protests have spread to other cities from Dallas to Boston to New York. Now an update on a Gaza protest. Climate activist Greta Thunberg is being deported by Israel the day after she and other activists were on a boat carrying aid to Palestinians intercepted.
The activists said they were protesting the war and the ongoing humanitarian crisis. Thunberg has been put on a flight to France, but some others have refused and are being held in detention. Israel described the vessel as a selfie yacht and pointed out that it carried less than one truck's worth of aid.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. A gunman opened fire in a school this morning in the city of Graz in Austria. 8 students and an adult were killed. The shooter killed himself. At a middle school in Paris, France, a 15-year-old student stabbed an employee to death. America's listening to Fox News.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
You're great at protecting your personal information. You might even use things like two-factor authentication and strong passwords. But as much as you try to control how your info is protected, there are other places that also have it, and they may not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
While President Trump deploys Marines, the National Guard, to deal with L.A. protests, he'll go to Fort Bragg today In North Carolina, to kick off celebrating the Army's 250th birthday ahead of a military parade in Washington Saturday on his 79th birthday, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has stirred things up again, saying he's going to
reestablish public confidence in vaccine science. He has dismissed 17 members of the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, a scientific panel that advises federal health officials on how to use vaccines. In a statement, Kennedy says the Biden administration appointed all members of the committee. He says the prior administration made a concerted effort to lock in public health ideology. Kennedy was a leading vaccine skeptic before being tapped as the Trump administration's top health official, and has said he plans to restore trust in vaccine recommendations. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
A music legend has died. The leader of Sly and the Family Stone.
His family saying in a statement, after a prolonged battle with COPD and other underlying health issues, Sly passed away peacefully, surrounded by his 3 children, his closest friend, and his extended family. Sly, whose real name is Sylvester Stewart, transformed popular music in the 1960s and 70s and beyond with hits like Everyday People, Stand, and Family Affair. Monica DeLuca, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures not moving much before today's trading. Now to a blowout on ice.
The Panthers with a 2-0. Moving in on Skinner. Score! Bennett! 4-1 Florida.
The Panthers scored twice more, and the Oilers, they beat the Oilers 6-1 on TNT, giving the defending Stanley Cup champs Florida a 2-1 series lead over Edmonton in the NHL final. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
It is a Tuesday morning. It's June 10th, 2025. Appreciate you waking up with News Talk 710 KURV, 710 AM on your radio. Of course, you know that if you're on the radio. Go discover Radio Para Mi. It is a free app. You could be listening on your smartphone. Show producer Fred Cruz, AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine on standby. Jeffy's got some rain in the forecast starting. What was that, Freddie? Like starting tonight? Yeah, okay. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm Sergio Sanchez, and in the news, in McAllen, police have arrested 53-year-old Paul Cooper Garza for a crash that injured a McAllen firefighter. Garza initially left the scene after the crash on Sunday, which injured a firefighter that was riding a motorcycle. Garza returned and reportedly told police that he drank 4 large cans of beer about an hour before the crash. The firefighter reportedly suffered a broken pelvis and possible internal injuries. Garza has been charged with intoxication assault. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum in the news is condemning violence in Los Angeles because of the immigration enforcement protest. At a news conference on Monday, Mexican President Sheinbaum urged Mexican nationals in the U.S. to stay peaceful. At the same time, she promised that her government has a, quote, unwavering commitment to the protection and defense of the human rights of Mexicans, no matter their immigration status in the U.S. As the protest against ICE deportations continues in California, here in Texas, Governor Greg Abbott has already taken steps to ensure that President Trump will not need to deploy the National Guard to Texas.
Governor Abbott agreed with President Trump's National Guard deployment to Los Angeles so much, he took to social media and called it excellent. He also released a statement saying he's entered into agreements with Homeland Security to authorize the Texas National Guard to help enforce immigration law here, similar to the executive order he signed in January.
I've ordered Texas state agencies to assist the Trump administration to arrest, jail, and deport illegal immigrants.
Abbott's also yet to sign Senate Bill 8 into law. That would mandate Texas sheriffs work with federal ICE officials as well.
In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
Other legislative news, a bill that would ban Chinese ownership of land in Texas is now sitting on the governor's desk.
Homeland Security experts praising state lawmakers for taking the issue seriously. Christopher Holton with the Center for Security Policy says we cannot ignore the moves being made by the Chinese Communist Party.
I think it's safe to say that Texas is taking the most thorough and thoughtful approach to this issue.
He says the bill is the gold standard for the rest of the country, the only neighboring state to have a similar ban is Arkansas. But in Arizona, the state's Democratic governor recently vetoed a bill that would have prevented Chinese companies from buying land near their military bases.
That's Michael Board with that report. Well, if you love hunting from a helicopter, got some good news for you. There's a third animal being added to the Texas list. You can hunt from helicopters. We'll talk about that right after AccuWeather. It is AccuWeather time. I want to say thank you to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch. Think of Martin Farm and Ranch for Father's Day. Dear old dad probably has, there's probably something in Martin Farm and Ranch that dear old dad would love. Check out the gift section at Martin Farm and Ranch. Say hi to Dougie for us if you stop by. AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine is joining us. So Freddie says you putting the chance of rain, maybe some interesting weather as early as tonight. So what's going on, Jeffrey?
Well, it's currently sitting across central Texas in a very long line, almost getting into Dallas, extending towards almost Laredo. That is going to be what pushes through. It's a very small micro system just taking up that little bit of space. It's going to continue to push through and favor the western part of the valley. So Laredo, Falcon, and maybe like western parts of McAllen. And these storms right now, as they sit, could have some damaging winds and hail as the primary threats.
Okay, so that's the tail end of all that interesting weather. I saw the AccuWeather.com map. There was another map on the Weather Service. So it looks like all the interesting weather is just slightly west of us, and then definitely in central Texas, right? San Antonio, then up Waco, and all the way up to North Texas. So not a good day for travel in Texas, I'm guessing.
Right, yeah. Today, tomorrow, and Thursday, pretty much under showers and heavy thunderstorms for San Antonio. So if you're going up there, that's pretty much a no-go. Houston as well will have some showers and thunderstorms today through Friday, and then a brief pause in the overnight. Dallas area is not bad with today and tomorrow, and then even Thursday, Friday, but it does get heavier at that point.
All right, pal. And let's see the national day for today. Let's see.
I didn't actually pull it up. I usually do.
We have National Frosted Cookie Day. That sounds really good.
Yum.
Yeah, sounds really good with coffee. Let's see here. Oh, and it's National Egg Roll Day today.
Those are actually really good. I finally started eating them.
Okay, with some sweet and sour sauce. Man, yeah, you better stop me. Take the plate away from me. I won't stop. You'll have to call the doctor. Which appropriately, it's National Call Your Doctor Day today.
Oh, okay.
All right, pal. What's that, Freddie? Freddie says, "What do you want me to call him?" Thank you. Yeah, you deserve that one, Freddie. All right, we'll call you next hour, Jeffy.
Yep.
Weather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. So heads up, especially if you're traveling to Central Texas, San Antonio, and points north. Going to be some nasty weather next couple of days. As I mentioned before we went to the AccuWeather forecast, so there will soon be a third animal in Texas you can shoot from a helicopter.
Starting September 1st, Barbary sheep join wild hogs and coyotes as fair game from the air. These sheep, which are native to the mountains of northern Africa, were brought to West Texas in the 50s. Now they're considered an invasive species. Jason Sabo lives part-time in Fort Davis, says he saw an entire hillside covered with these sheep.
And kind of wistfully off to the side were two of our native Texas mule deer, literally watching these invasive species eat everything in sight and eat all of their food sources.
Sabo says research from Sul Ross University shows they're breeding with native species, possibly weeding them out. Barbara Schwartz, News Talk 710 KURV.
Zicam and Orajel products are being recalled over a potential fungal contamination. It's not inside the actual product. The contamination might be in the swab that is packaged with Zicam and Orajel to apply the Zicam cold remedy or the Orajel baby teething. And so the swabs is what's being recalled, might have some fungus in it. Researchers out of UCLA have invented a pen that can detect Parkinson's disease with high accuracy. A pilot study in the journal Nature Chemical Engineering unveiled that the device looks looks very similar to a normal pen, but this pen is able to pick up on small dysfunctions by observing how people change their writing or writing habits. Researchers say it has a 96% accuracy. A North Texas couple admitting to collecting hundreds of thousands of dollars as part of a romance scheme, a romance operation.
The people behind the scam operation would set up fake profiles on dating websites and target elderly victims, especially those who had lost their spouses. They would convince the victims to send them money, sometimes by claiming they had gold they could collect in Ghana, but only if they paid taxes or other fees up front. Prosecutors say 36-year-old Felix Clark and 33-year-old Esther Ampial of Keller collected the money in the U.S. and routed it overseas, and that the scam gathered more than $500,000 from victims. Clark pled guilty to wire fraud and conspiracy charges and could be sentenced to 20 years in prison. Ampial pled guilty to operating an unlicensed money transmitter business and could get up to 5 years.
That's Stephen Pickering with that report. And Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick was in the Valley yesterday alongside new State Senator Adam Hinojosa, touting some of the legislative successes, school funding issues, tax relief, and of course, the pet project for the Lieutenant Governor trying to ban THC consumables. The time is 7:14. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. As a result of the immigration crackdown and the reality that some folks in construction are not in the country legally, yes, as expected, some slowing of construction for some projects. Conversation, that's one of the topics. And of course, the upcoming parade of homes and other news as far as the rapidly expanding economy and all the construction in the area. From a builder's perspective, a conversation with a member of the association. That's next on the Valley's Morning News.
Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic, available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or at your local CVS. Thinking of expanding your business in the Rio Grande Valley or exploring new markets? Consider Harlingen, Texas. The Harlingen Economic Development Corporation can provide you with the resources needed to launch or grow your business. Harlingen is a community that is business ready at the crossroads of opportunity. Located in the heart of the valley, countless businesses take advantage of everything the Rio Grande Valley has to offer from this vantage point. This city is open for business and business friendly. It's a true hub city. That means all four modes of transportation are here: road, rail, air, and water, and the proximity to Mexico through the less congested Los Indios International Bridge provides an enviable advantage when it comes to manufacturing and distribution. From renewable energy to aerospace, logistics and distribution, healthcare, manufacturing, back office operations, and retail, Harlingen has it all. Discover the business and investment opportunities by visiting harlingenedc.com. That's harlingenedc.com. The Harlingen Economic Development Corporation.
Brian Kilmeade here, inviting you to tune in weekday mornings starting at 9 for The Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez on News Talk 710 KURV and KURV.com.
News Talk 7. In South Texas in the event Sunday we get a tropical system headed this way, tropical system, a hurricane. All the conversations with the emergency planners, county judges, AccuWeather, everybody. Tropical coverage 2025 on News Talk 710 KURV on the radio and online, made possible by McAfee Insurance, Lee's Pharmacy, North and South McAllen, and Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and AC. I'm going to focus now on construction across South Texas, multifamily units, new homes, neighborhoods popping up left and right. On behalf of the Rio Grande Valley Builders Association, Executive Officer Johnny Vasquez in the studio. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Let me start with something you and I talked about off air, which was multifamily units. You had one member of your association that looked at what's taking place right now. Lots of multifamily construction left and right, which makes sense in what's happening in the economy. I believe he said, how many times greater is the multifamily construction and inventory now compared to just like 15 years ago?
Yeah, no, most definitely, Sergio. Yeah, there's quite a bit. It's 4 times as much almost that is out there on the ground and ready for sale. You know, some of them are out there already prepared to make you an offer. So multifamily units are a great investment opportunity. They're also a way for you to build wealth. So they're out there, and you can go across the valley from one end to the next, and you will find a new multifamily subdivision ready for you to take.
And it makes sense now with, all the jobs at the Port of Brownsville, LNG, and all the operations there, Elon Musk and the thousands of people that he's bringing down here, which of course has a multiplier and a spinoff, which brings other industries and other industries and support businesses for that as well. So I'm sure that all of this will be filled. So is there a shortage of multifamily?
There's definitely not a shortage of multifamily at this point, but there's people moving to the valley, and they're going to need a place to live, temporary workers, if anything, maybe 6 months, a year, maybe 2 years. And the inventory's there. So it is a good time right now to go out there and pick up one of those multifamily units if you're an investor.
Would it be a smart time to build more multifamily right now, do you think?
So, I mean, that's obviously a good question for someone to take to a professional. I'm not going to give any professional advice on when you should build. But really seek the knowledge in what's actually out there already. If there is a tight competition, probably maybe not a good time to start. But unless there's areas that you're looking at that are not used, the valley's big, Sergio. From all the way from the South Padre Island to Rio Grande City, there is industry coming. So find your spot.
And they keep saying that what we have now, as far as the jobs, they can put LNG. They say right now we got 4,000, 3 to 4. Expect twice or 3 times that much when they reach peak construction with a second LNG. Ooh, tens of thousands. Then, of course, Elon Musk wants to bring all these people from California over here.
Yeah.
So that's another, 7 to 10,000. So I can see where apartments and these duplexes, whatever you call them,
multifamily. Yeah, that's an upgrade from an apartment, really. Yeah. There's a lot of them that have amenities. Some of them have playgrounds and pools. So I mean, there's some really innovative stuff going on out there in the multifamily space.
With the Rio Grande Valley Builders Association in studio, Johnny Vasquez. When we have Mayor Ramiro Garza, and Javier Villalobos, Brownsville Mayor, he says the same thing. Home construction is through the roof right now. People are just building new subdivisions left and right.
Right.
And then of course the realtors would say, well, it's a tight market and interest rates are a little higher now than they were, ridiculously low just some time back. But man, the hammers are flying left and right, despite all the headwind or pressure that. So what's going on? I mean, what's the opinion from the Builders Association as far as the economy?
Well, things change overnight, right? Like here in the Rio Grande Valley, we have a tremendous amount of space to grow. We have subdivisions coming up in all different places: Alamo, Mid-Valley, San Juan, West Lagodonna, all across the valley, Edinburgh, McAllen. You look, there's a new home subdivision coming up. So there is places to live, and there is homes on the ground right now for sale. One of the main things that the association is looking at is affordability and attainability. Just because the home is there doesn't mean there's a large market for people to come and buy that home.
Yeah.
And so anytime the price goes up on a home, or if home prices raise just a bit, it does price out quite a few people from the market.
Let's talk about the 700-pound gorilla in the room, right? Construction.
That's
Construction needs labor.
That's right.
How much of the labor, because we have seen in the news raids on construction sites. A few days back was Brownsville and South Padre. So más o menos, just ballpark, intelligent guess, how much of the workforce that's out there building stuff in the valley, let's just focus on the valley, how much do you think is not working with legal papers? It's illegal aliens working, getting cash, all that. So how much of
Sergio, I don't have that exact number, but I can tell you this. I can tell you that we're short construction workers overall in the state of Texas. Almost 400,000 workers short. And that's just now. That's before ICE raids, right? This was before all of this situation that's going on. And mind you, the Builders Association, we're for the rule of law. We want secure borders, and we're for that. But on the top side of it, we need places for people to live, and we need our home builders to continue to build homes for those people, for places to live. So right now, with everything that's going on in the media, everything that's going on in the news, it's an important issue, and most definitely. But this is an issue that's been going on for many, many years. Sergio.
Has it hampered construction work?
Most definitely, it's hampered construction.
The builders say people not showing up to work.
It's causing
half my crew, or I lost a third of my crew, or what is it?
Yeah, there's a standstill overall. I mean, you have a tremendous amount of builders out there that are concerned. This is impacting their livelihood. Now, granted, we encourage our association to verify employment. That's one of our bases, is verify employment. So this is an issue broader than that, Sergio. This is an immigration issue, federal issue, and that's why we're going to D.C. to talk to our representatives. You know, we're excited about this because it is time. There has to be something done. And now that it's in the face, on the media, in the news, and it's causing riots across the country, this is a situation that Congress needs to act on.
Johnny Vasquez, Rio Grande Valley Builders Association. Yeah, that meeting up in D.C. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that have construction firms and say, hey, we've lost some of our labor. I hope it's not a majority, but either way, it's going to get done, I would imagine. The projects, whatever crew that you have.
There's crews out there. I was out there this past weekend. I was out there this past weekend driving around, touring the homes. There's crews out there that are working.
It just might not be done on the initial timeline.
There's timelines that are going to be affected. That's right. That's right. Timelines are going to be affected. Home prices are going to be affected. Just going back to what we're talking about, home prices, raising them just $1,000, like I was sharing with you earlier, raising just a home price, average home price, $1,000 is going to price out 22,000
the state figure.
State figure. Okay. That's right. State figure.
So you raise it if a price of a home goes up to $1,000, and again, this is a Texas figure.
This is a Texas figure.
Then $1,000 higher on a price for a home elbows out how many people?
About 22,000 potential home buyers in the market. So we can't afford to have prices of homes go up based on material costs. I know tariffs were a big issue earlier this year.
Well,
labor costs now going up. And Sergio, the home is a place where people can set down their roots. We want people to come to the Valley, call the Valley their home, spend money here in the Valley, and enjoy the time here. This is a great place to live, and it's like no other place in the world, if you ask me. But it's just difficult for our home builders and the Home Builders Association to complete projects on time and do a lot of the things that they need to be doing to provide these homes in these places for people to live. It's difficult. It's not an easy task. And Congress, like I said, I'm go back to this, Sergio, because this is an issue that's been around for 40 years. Immigration. This is not something new that's just coming up. I know the Trump administration right now is doing its best to secure the border and remove a lot of bad actors like President Trump had mentioned. But what we're calling upon is for Congress to act and make more permanent solutions for these workers that are here that really we need. We need construction workers.
Yeah. Ag sector, service sector, construction sector. Says a lot about the strength of the American economy where there's demand for that labor. It's just, it is an adjustment that is decades in the making.
That's right.
Johnny Vasquez, executive director, executive officer over at the Rio Grande Valley Builders Association. We need more labor. And to get there, we need to train young men and women to be plumbers and electricians and people that can erect buildings and all that. I know the legislature was trying to address that. Just give me your thoughts on the and I know that you guys have been giving thumbs up to efforts by the local junior colleges and districts to get more people in there.
We're supporting all types of trades, anywhere where people can come and learn a trade and build a business and run a crew and add to the workforce. We support that. We are behind that. We're behind the TSTC funding. We're behind any type of trades. I mean, Edinburgh.
What did TSTC do recently? I need to call.
So there was funding that they needed to have permanent funding, and we're supporting that legislation. I'm sure that you can look up more information on that. But one of the things that's important also is getting to these students early on and giving them that knowledge early on. Edinburgh ISD. Is doing a wonderful job with their career and training education. That's an amazing thing. We toured the facility, plumbing, HVAC.
There we go.
Framing, amazing, everything.
Yeah.
I was just astonished by how much is out there and is available to you. So parents, if you're listening and your son or daughter doesn't want to go to a 4-year degree, and send them to a trade school. There's some that are really excellent. There's trade schools all across the country.
We need a lot more of that.
We need more. We need more homeowners.
Goodness.
I mean, we need more people getting into the trades to provide jobs for the home building industry.
No, and you mentioned Edinburgh ISD as one example of a school district I do believe is absolutely doing it right. If we could just copy paste this in Metro Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio, where all these trades, you get everything. You at Edinburgh on a yearly basis, they're sending out teams construction teams and working side by side with the professional plumbers and electricians. So from HVAC, the air conditioning systems, these kids that know how to erect and put all the wood paneling together to erect a building.
Mm-hmm.
And
most
electricity,
definitely.
plumbing. Oh, it's all there.
They're all there. South Texas or South Texas Community College, or STCC, STC, South Texas College out there. They have a program as well as Southern Careers Institute. They got a welding program and some other programs there. So there's plenty of options for you to get into the trade. So I highly encourage it, and we support it as an association.
I'm running out of time here. So
yes, sir.
I know one of the reasons I called you is you have this annual parade of homes that's coming up. So tell me about where do we put that on the calendar?
The Rio Grande Valley Builders Association hosts an annual parade of homes. This is a time for you to go out and see the best of the best builders out there that are providing some innovative new construction. You can go out there and see some of the latest in trends, and it's just an amazing time to go out and see if you're wanting to buy something that's already built, or you want to customize a home. There's going to be home builders out there that can guide you through that process.
It's quite the show. We've seen that before. It's a real pretty innovative new construction.
Absolutely, and it's a great time to celebrate the home building industry, right? There's a lot of people out there that think that home building is just kind of like, hey, you live in the house, but no, the home is where you plant your roots, where you're going to live, where you're going to breathe, and where you're going to enjoy time with your family. So you want to make sure you enjoy it. So go to the Parade of Homes. Our website is rgvba.org. That's Rio Grande Valley Builders Association, rgvba.org, and you can go ahead and click on the Parade of Homes tab. And we're doing some amazing giveaways.
There's 2 weekends, right? That you guys
2 weekends. Last 2 weekends in July.
Okay.
July 19th and 20th, 26th and 27th. Make time, make plans, and we'd love to see you out there.
Well, touch base with us again. I know you're going to D.C. to talk with other national builders, home builders, and you got labor issues to discuss and tariffs and everything else. Touch base if they decided on something interesting.
Most definitely.
Like to follow up with
we're flying in with a large group. This is not just the local, it's the National Association of Home Builders and the Texas Builders Association.
On behalf of the Rio Grande Valley Builders Association, their website, RGVBA, BA is for Builders Association, RGVBA.org is a website. Go check out on the calendar their Parade of Homes coming up in just a few weeks. Johnny Vasquez, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, Mr. Sergio.
Be
Have
well,
a good one.
You're in tune with the morning news on Newstalk 710 KQRV. Taking a look at some of the headlines of the morning. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi saying that an individual who was throwing rocks at federal law enforcement vehicles as they were riding through Los Angeles, that individual has reportedly been identified. And if you've been going to social media, you likely have seen that video plenty. The FBI is searching for the individual's home. He's on a most wanted list in L.A. The Southern Baptist Convention taking place in Dallas this week. Members will be voting on efforts to convince the Supreme Court to overturn gay marriage. They will also be voting on measures calling for pornography and sports betting to be outlawed, and also defunding Planned Parenthood and opposing abortion. President Trump wants to deposit $1,000 in what he's calling Trump accounts for babies. The money would come mostly from employers to employees, U.S. citizens born this year and all the way up to the end of 2028 would be eligible. The CEOs, some CEOs, like folks at Uber and Dell and Goldman Sachs, joined President Trump at the White House at a roundtable to talk about these $1,000 accounts. This is the Valley's Morning News on Newstalk 710 KURV. We invite you to join us live at Radio Para Mi. Download the free app and join us on your smartphone. Check of sports up next on your station for Astros Baseball, 710 KURV.
Hess Fitness Products. They have the largest selection of fitness equipment and accessories in McAllen to custom fit you. If it feels good, you will use it. Remember, health is wealth. Exercise is a fountain of youth. There are no magic pills or injections to replace exercise, and with the help of Hess Fitness Products, you can exercise in the safe comfort of your own home. Go to HessFitness.com. That's HessFitness.com. Look better, feel better, do more. Do you have the right financial advisor to help you navigate where you want to go? With life's twists and turns, having a trusted expert by your side can make all the difference. An Ameriprise advisor will take the time to truly understand what's important to you, crafting a personalized strategy tailored to your goals and needs. Whether you're preparing for the expected or the unexpected, they'll help you stay on track with regular reviews and digital tools designed to give you clarity and control. With an Ameriprise advisor, you can feel more confident, connected, and in charge of your financial future. Call Ameriprise Financial Advisor David Barnes today at 956-772-4200, 956-772-4200. His office is conveniently located at 3008 North McCall Road, Suite B in McAllen. Ameriprise Financial cannot guarantee future financial results. Not FDIC or NCUA insured. No financial institution guarantee. May lose value. Securities offered by Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Member FINRA and SIPC.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
It's Houston Astros baseball as they host the Chicago White Sox. First pitch at 7:10 later this evening. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women, Mission Economic Development Corporation, and News Talk 710 KURV.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
TSN Sports. The Rangers begin a 3-game series with the Twins tonight as Texas looks to win a second straight series. It would be the third time this month the Rangers have won a series. They take back-to-back games over the weekend in D.C. to clinch a series victory, but their only other series win was all the way back at the turn of the month when Texas won 2 of 3 against St. Louis. But the Rangers begin a 3-gamer with the Twins from Minnesota tonight at 6:40 p.m. The Houston Astros too begin a 3-game series tonight, but are back at home, hosting the White Sox. Chicago's Southside team is struggling big time at 22-44 on the year. Houston, on the other hand, is trying to get a loss out of their mouths, suffered on Sunday, in which the Astros miss out on a chance to sweep Cleveland. They do, however, stand a very good chance of doing so this week as they host the White Sox for a 3-game series beginning tonight at 7:10 p.m. Ross Levinsky, TSN Sports.
The Panthers scored 3 power play goals, blow out the Oilers 6-1, take a 2-1 lead in the Stanley Cup final. Oilers goalie Stuart Skinner pulled after allowing 5 goals on 23 shots. Game 4 Thursday in Sunrise. The Texans signed former Browns running back Nick Chubb to a 1-year deal worth $2.5 million. Murray State took down Duke in the winner-take-all Durham Super Regional to advance to their first ever Men's College World Series. Will play UCLA in the double elimination round Saturday in Omaha. That's sports. I'm Ronza Moss.
AccuWeather on 710 KURV. Hot, really hot. Check this out. AccuWeather saying like late this evening, going into tonight, overnight, thunderstorms are possible. In fact, some of the interesting stuff, with damaging winds and hail. Yeah, some of that. Maybe in the Mid-Valley, Western Valley, especially in the McAllen area, points west. We might see that. Thunderstorms stay in the forecast overnight and going into tomorrow and into Thursday a little bit. Conversations with AccuWeather. Don't miss that. That's coming up on KURV. Border Bridge wait times as posted on KURV.com. Let's see if they've updated these numbers. Again, these are wait times headed back to the U.S. from the overnight. 45 minutes at the Far Bridge, headed back to McAllen. It's only 10 minutes at the Hidalgo Bridge. And for Brownsville, 15 to 20 minutes at B&M and at Gateway and Veterans as well. Your station for Astros baseball is News Talk 710 KURV. Join us tonight, 6:40. They're hosting the White Sox. Join us at Radio Para Mi as well, amigo. Radio Para Mi, it's free. You could be listening on your smartphone. Business news check of your money up next.
Spotlight on your health. Brought to you by DHR Health.
From DHR Health, ENT specialist and dermatology specialist, Dr. Keith Piku
We do a lot of skin cancers. Dermatologists do a lot of skin cancers in the head and neck area, elsewhere on the skin. The reason I do the ENT surgery is I like the surgery. It's kids with bad tonsils. If you've got someone who's got a bad nose, not breathing well, and I can fix it. Everything that exists in the world with regards to dermatology and ENT exists down here. I've seen things like Chagas disease down here, leprosy down here. You don't see very much of it in the United States anymore. Usually you see it in third world countries like in Africa, India, places like that. It's seen down in South America and Central America. So some of those people wind up coming here, but it's supposedly spread here in the United States through the armadillos. Well, there's a lot of armadillos in Texas. I still remember one gentleman who saw me in Weslaco with all these nodules all over his skin. Well, we did a biopsy. He had lepromatous leprosy. Whatever comes in the office, I'm happy. The interesting thing is a lot of times I have a patient who comes in for both. Dermatology, ENT surgery too.
Dr. Keith Piku, ENT specialist and dermatology specialist, DHR Health.
This has been Spotlight on Your Health, brought to you by DHR Health. For you, for life.
Happy Father's Day, everybody. We've got a Super Dads contest on our Facebook and Instagram. The way it works is like this. Like us on Facebook and Instagram. Nominate your Super Dad by posting the nomination. The dad that gets the most likes, he's going to win first place, get $500. And second place will get 250 smackaroos. That's right. So go to our Facebook or Instagram, nominate your Super Papa now. See store for details.
Shamuzi.com. Think tires. Think Pueblo.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC. McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Temu and Shein are pivoting to Europe as their business in the U.S. takes a major hit from unfavorable trade policies. However, experts warn that the China-founded budget shopping platforms will meet regulatory scrutiny in the region. Luckin Coffee is set to take its most significant international leap yet, with plans to open a branch in Lower Manhattan. Over time, analysts estimate that Luckin and coffee will still be cheaper than Starbucks in the U.S., but the gap will be narrower than it is in China. The FDA has approved Merck's shot designed to protect infants from RSV during their first season of the virus. The decision will allow the company to launch the drug, which will be marketed as Enflonsia, ahead of the RSV season that typically kicks off around fall and winter. Futures are slightly higher as investors await details on U.S. and China trade discussions. Yesterday, the Dow lost 1, the Nasdaq up 61, the S&P 500 up 5. That's Your Money Now.
And a quick mention from GM, they say they more than doubled the sale of electric vehicles first 5 months of the year. AccuWeather says dangerous heat yet again, up to 102 today. Thunderstorms tonight into tomorrow as well. Don't miss the conversations with AccuWeather on 710 KURV. We got Fox News coming up in 2 minutes on the Valley's Morning News. You got a home to sell, a home to buy. I think you should be making a call to the Ryan and Brian real estate team. That's the only team I'm calling to help me find a home, help me sell my home. Affording a house right now is a bit tough for some folks. Now, my friends at the Ryan and Brian real estate team can help you navigate this market. They have partnered with one of the nation's top builders. That's Edwards Homes. Edwards Homes can provide you a beautiful, brand new, gorgeous home, affordable home. Rates as low as 4.75% if you qualify as well. Now, there is limited inventory, so you need to start that conversation with the folks at the Ryan and Brian real estate team. So try to connect with an Edwards home. Don't wait. Make the call today like Joanna did. She just bought her first home here in the area. Yes, it was an Edwards home. And the folks at the Ryan and Brian real estate team made everything easy. In fact, they're expert negotiators. Tremendous deal. Over $10,000 negotiated off in concessions in this transaction. That could be you. So make the phone call today. 956-540-2536. The website, ryanandbrian.com. That's ryanandbrian.com.
If you're selling your home, don't be trying. Call Ryan and Brian. Go to ryanandbrian.com.
pain management specialist Dr. Dennis Slavin on shoulder pain.
Our website is feelingbetteratLast.com because that's what people say as they leave my office. They really are feeling better at last. Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Slavin with some solid advice on achy shoulders. Shoulder pain is very common, very severe, and often interferes with activities we enjoy, such as golf, tennis, fishing, doing chores, or even daily tasks like combing our hair. The good news is that most of the time, office-based, image-guided treatments provide superb pain relief, and followed by a specific home exercise program can prevent the pain from returning, so you can be feeling better at last. Patients are amazed by the pain relief. They wonder why they waited so long to be feeling better at last. That's really the key phrase, what I specialize in. I'm good at getting you feeling better at last.
With offices in McAllen and Weslaco, Dr. Dennis Slavin is only a phone call away, and many say it's the best call they've ever made. Call 956-973-0565. 973-0565.
You're great at protecting your personal information. You might even use things like two-factor authentication and strong passwords. But as much as you try to control how your info is protected, there are other places that also have it, and they may not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
News and weather information at your fingertips. News Talk 710 KURV.
Welcome to the internet, my friend. How can I help you?
Log on to KURV.com.
Tuesday edition of the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. 7 o'clock hour of the morning news. Producer Freddie puts us on 710 KURV, YouTube, and X, and Facebook Live. AccuWeather says hot, triple-digit weather. Then thunderstorms tonight and going into tomorrow. Your station for AccuWeather is News Talk 710 KURV. Check of news, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm Daria Aldinger. LA Mayor Karen Bass doesn't like the way ICE agents are carrying out arrests in her city.
We were told that raids would be to look for violent criminals, people who had warrants, but I don't know how you go from a drug dealer to a Home Depot, to people's workplaces where they're just trying to make a living.
The Trump administration said ICE did what was necessary to make the arrests. California Governor Gavin Newsom suing to stop President Trump from activating the National Guard.
For Gavin Newsom to say that it's the arrival of the Guard that has somehow catalyzed this violence is so offensive when you talk about the incredible people that we have serving in the National Guard.
California Congressman Kevin Kiley, the president responded by threatening to arrest Newsom. Shooting at a high school in Austria has left several dead, plus the suspect. America's listening to Fox News.
Police arresting 53-year-old Paul Cooper Garza in McAllen for a crash that injured a McAllen firefighter. Garza reportedly left the scene after the crash, which injured the firefighter who was riding a motorcycle. Returned and reportedly told police that he drank 4 large cans of beer an hour before the crash. Garza has been charged with intoxication assault. It's 15 to the hour on the Valley's Morning News. The oil and natural gas industry of Texas, they're having a good year.
Texas set a new record for natural gas production this spring, hitting a total of 34 billion cubic feet per day. Most of that is classified as dry natural gas, but about 8 billion cubic feet per day was liquefied natural gas. Texas accounted for more than 29% of the U.S. marketed natural gas production between January and May, according to new figures released by the Texas Oil and Gas Association. Those figures also show that Texas exported $19.8 billion in energy products in the month of March, including crude oil, natural gas, and refined products.
In the state of New York, their lawmakers have voted to approve a bill that would legalize assisted suicide across New York. New research suggesting that the Tornado Alley is now shifting and includes more areas, for example, Kentucky.
This comes as NOAA and the National Weather Service say more tornadoes are happening each year across areas including Missouri, Arkansas, and Kentucky than ever before. The term Tornado Alley began being used in the 1950s to describe the areas where the most tornadoes broke out each year, including in Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska. I'm Mark Mayfield.
If you use Zicam products or even Oragel for babies that are teething, Zicam and Oragel products are being recalled over a potential fungal contamination.
According to the FDA, the recalled products include Zicam Cold Remedy nasal swabs and nasal all clear swabs, as well as Oragel baby teething swabs. Officials say fungi could be present in the item's cotton swab components, and consumers are advised to immediately stop using the recalled products. According to the FDA, no serious adverse events have been reported at this time. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Join us at Radio Para Mí. Download that free app.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody, if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in the Cal at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
At Revettas Machinery in Donna, they're bringing the best deals on Coyote equipment to your job site, your farm, or your backyard. Right now, take advantage of 0% interest or up to $6,000 cash back on Coyote track loaders and skid steers. These are machines built for maximum performance no matter the task. But don't stop there. They're also offering fantastic savings on Coyote tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. And whether you're hauling something, mowing, tackling other big jobs, Coyote has the equipment to help you get it done. If you're looking for great deals and great service from a team that treats you like family, look no further than Revettas Machinery and Coyote. Start your next project right. Visit Revettas Machinery in Donna or browse their deals.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Para Mí app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio